Well, Channel 3 is Connecticut's back-to-school authority, and we continue to follow the latest back-to-school news. In Colchester, the first day will now be on September 8th, and this decision was approved by the Board of Education Monday night. We are chatting now with Colchester Superintendent Mr. Jeffrey Burt. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mr. Burt, one of the questions on the forefront of many parents' minds in Colchester is, why was the start date changed to a later date?
Well, thank you for that question, and this was not an easy decision. Just to remind everybody, we do have a reopening task force that was involved with this decision, and primarily it was to give us more time to plan. As you may be aware, there was a change to the governor's decision on requiring every district to open fully. So we had the option of going hybrid, and we needed more time. Plus, we lost power for 4 days, so we needed some additional time to plan.
Are you pretty confident that this is the right decision? You know, a lot of school districts are weighing, should we push it off a little bit longer? We've had a poll on our WFSB app and on our website asking people if maybe even pushing off school for an extra 2 weeks just to give educators enough time. Is that adequate?
This is a very difficult decision, and we know that any decision that we make will impact one family or one student or even staff members in some regard. And so we know that in some cases, we're hearing from parents that they needed additional time to find daycare because we just named our cohorts for our hybrid model. But I did hear from other parents saying, well, I arranged for daycare to begin on August 31st, and so now this is an inconvenience for me. So in essence, what we're looking at is difficult decisions in any kind of these areas that we have to do with our reopening. But ultimately, we wanted to do what's right for families to give them time, but also because we want to do this right. We want to take the time to really plan our hybrid opening, but also we have about 13% of our students choosing the at-home option, and we really want to make sure that we're doing the best we can for those students as well, and we just need some of that additional time to plan for that as well.
And I was going to ask you about the back-to-school plan. How is it looking right now? If a parent doesn't feel comfortable sending their kid completely back to school yet, do they have the option of the virtual learning for 5 days a week?
Correct. So at this point, under the commissioner's memo dated July 22nd, we have what we're calling the at-home option, and all of our students have access to that. And at any time, they also have the option to come back into schools with a week's notice to the principal, obviously. And then if any point we go to a full remote, because obviously there's the pandemic increases in our area, they would have full access to that as well.
Okay, good information. Colchester has 4 schools and is home to just over 2,200 students, which is actually a lot smaller than some of the other districts that we've been covering. So do you feel that your schools have any advantages over the larger school districts?
I think in terms of our flexibility, that's something we pride ourselves on, and innovation. And give you an example, when we closed down March 13th, we did take some additional time to plan for our distance learning piece because we have incredible staff that really will take the opportunity with that additional time to do what's right for our students. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're taking some additional time to make sure that our staff is ready to do exactly what we need to do to deliver the best instructional model for our students. I can't speak to larger districts. I did work in some other larger districts, and I know they're not quite as nimble or flexible just because of the size, nothing to do with their capacity or the quality of education in those districts.
And we want to, of course, provide a little information for anyone in Colchester who may have any more questions. Is there a way that they can reach the school district for any concerns, comments?
We do have 2 email addresses. The first one is for general concerns, COVID-19 at colchesterct.org. And specific questions to do with our plan, it's planquestions@colchesterct.org. We are also going to be providing a frequently asked question or a Q&A document later this week. And we're actually coming out with the at-home document later today as well. So more information there. I know many families are waiting for that information, and we want to get that out sooner than later.
So more information to come. This is, of course, an ever-evolving situation, and it's not an easy one. Mr. Jeffrey Burt, Superintendent of Colchester Schools, thanks for taking the time to talk with us, and good luck.
Thank you very much.